Welcome back to Power Play. Well, for a year, investigative journalist Terry Gould was given exclusive access to Canadian police training units that were in Afghanistan, in the Palestinian territories, and in Haiti. As a result, the untold story of these police officers has been documented in his new book, Worth Dying For. Terry Gould joins me now here in studio. Terry, this is your book. It's just come out. We're putting it up, Worth Dying For. You had the opportunity to embed with some of these units and to see what they were doing. What stands out the most for you about your experience?
The humanitarian idealism of our police officers that endure years of roasting heat, assassination threats from criminal cops, all to train foreign police forces under very corrupt regimes to keep bad people from hurting good people. They live by that humanitarian mission, that it's law enforcement's mission to protect the public. Whereas in the countries that they train police, usually it's the ruler who uses the police to enforce his criminality. And they want to reverse that modus operandum so that civilians can feel safety and economies can grow. And they do it according to the UN's Universal Declaration of Human Rights, so that people could have some modicum of safety. It's not just in those three countries. Today is the 25th anniversary of what we call our CivPol mission. Our police going overseas to these extremely dangerous, very physically uncomfortable environments in which some died. Some have been taken hostage and tortured. Many come back with PTSD. Thousands of our officers have gone overseas to 30 countries, 30 failing states, and have actually succeeded in some cases have not, but they've tried. And the people over there are very, very grateful to it. It's a measure of Canada's soft power, the last vestige of our blue helmet heritage. And they are truly inspiring people.
And you bring up the fact that these are often very dangerous missions. We've had Canadian police who served with the notorious Afghan National Police. The corruption was legendary in not a very good way, who've put their lives on the line. When you were doing your research and speaking to these police officers and traveling to be with them, is there one particular story that stood out in your mind?
Well, yes. The fellow that is on the cover of the book is a RCMP police superintendent named Joe McAllister. He trained a police chief who was an honest man, a good man. And unfortunately, at the end of McAllister's mission in Afghanistan, the Afghan National Police chief whom McAllister had trained was murdered by his own men. And it's something that has stayed with McAllister since then. So quite often, they meet failure. There's no guarantee of success. But the Afghan National Police is getting better. We just had 2 elections in which we had far less violence than we had in previous elections because the Afghan National Police that the Canadians were training guarded those polling stations. They had been imbued with the belief that people have the right to choose their own leaders and that the loser gets a second chance in the next election. And that's the result of our RCMP and city police and provincial police risking their lives going over there to impart our Canadian code and our Canadian ideals.
Terry, we just have about 1 minute left, but when you look at what Canadians have achieved, what is it that you want viewers to know about these kinds of missions? Because we hear about the military, but we don't often hear about the police.
Yes, and they come back transformed people. And I would like Canadians to at least recognize that thousands of our non-combatant cops are working under combat conditions with their lives on the line and returning as transformed people. And I would like Canadians to know that they are our ambassadors. The way we used to have a blue helmet ambassador going out there keeping the peace, our police are going out there trying to spread the notion of community policing around the world.
Terry, an incredible story. Thank you for
very
joining
much.
us. The book, again, is Worth Dying For, the story of very courageous Canadian police officers who've gone around the world to try to make a difference. Well, that's a wrap for Power Play for this week. A great big thank you to the show's producers and our crews for all of their hard work behind the scenes, and to you for spending part of your Friday with us. Dawn will be back live on Monday at 5 p.m., and I'll see you next Friday. Thanks for tuning in. Todd Vanderhayden is up next with the latest news. For the Power Play team, I'm Mercedes Stevenson. Have a great weekend.